good vibes, kick-ass drinks, and giving back. Dutch Bros Coffee is a one-of-a-kind drive-thru coffee company amping up its customers with its signature positivity. Part of the culture that keeps customers coming back is its commitment to giving. Each year, Dutch Bros gives millions of dollars to its communities. Its largest fundraiser, Drink One for Dane. One day, every May, drink after drink is sold to support MDA in its fight to end ALS. For a company known for building relationships, this is more than a moment. It's a mission. It's personal. A connection to the past and a vision for the future. Inspired by a dream. Dane Boersma and his brother Travis started Dutch Bros in 1992 with a single pop-up tent in Grants Pass, Oregon. Each day, cranking up the stereo, slanging drinks, and serving up smiles. It wasn't long before the concept took off, expanding throughout the West. While the company was growing, Dane was fighting for his life. Diagnosed with ALS in 2005, he lost his battle 4 years later, leaving behind a growing business, a devoted family, and a passion to love and serve all. Today, that passion lives on. Our broistas are serving up smiles in hundreds of communities, and we're just getting started. Together with our customers, we're growing and committed to making a difference together.
It's a pretty cool video, right? Everybody hear me okay? Yeah, it's a pretty cool video. I've got the greatest job in the world. What you see is what I put together every day. I know people talk about creating digital brands and what it takes to build something, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But really, the smiles on the faces and the kids jumping around in a circle right there, that's what we do. And then we give back to every community we're a part of. And if somebody told me, 15 years ago or 10 years ago, I'd work for a company that gave 15% of its profits back into the community, and I said, you're crazy. It's all about making money. But really, what Dutch Bros is all about, we're here to talk about growth and growing through the pandemic, is we're talking about our future and a compelling future. And compelling future is the program that Dutch Bros uses to describe its growth and to create opportunities for our people. Like a show of hands, there's light in my face, so I can't see them all. Who here has been to a Dutch Bros? Okay, a little more than half of you, and I'll assume the other half live on the East Coast, so that's not a good excuse for not being there, but hopefully you can get there. We're building 100 stores a year. I got a team of folks that is helping us to develop. We're going into 3 new states each year. I joke that we'll be in 2 new countries pretty soon, but probably not for a while. But at more than 100 stores a year, the thing with us is we're good people. And when I say that we're good people, I'll tell you guys a quick story. Pandemic happened. Everybody saw what happened when business went to nothing. People stopped coming to the stores. People got locked down. 2 weeks before the national lockdown, we had made a commitment as a brand to start moving to Texas. We were going to start opening stores in Texas. This was in March of 2020. We said, let's open some stores, and then the world shut down. Everybody got locked up, and we made a decision at that point. When I say I made a decision, we're going to lean into growth anyway. And for those first few months when sales were down and people were locked up, we were making deals when nobody else was. But we were making deals because we're a relationship-based business. And our competitors were out there saying, we're not going to pay rent anymore because of the pandemic. Or we don't know when we're going to pay rent. They were sending force majeure letters and all those nasty things that landlords don't like to see. And nobody wanted to make deals with some of those folks. And I'm living in a hotel in Dallas, and I said, let's start making some deals. And what was really interesting is all the landowners and all the developers, usually you would talk to their minions, their mid-level management. All those folks started calling me, and we were touring. And when they weren't able to make a deal, I was able to put some really incredible bargains together, frankly, during the summer of 2020. Those bargains are long gone. Anybody trying to do a drive-thru right now knows that simply doesn't exist. But it was handshake agreements. It was touring markets with people and continuing to make deals. We've never closed a store. We've never asked a landlord for rent relief. That's a pretty unique place for us to be. We have, I'm going to get it wrong, but I think it's 570 stores open as of last week. And considering we've never had to close one, that's a pretty good track record. What is better than that is we didn't look for bargains. We looked for landlords who were going to work with us and maybe give us a little bit of time to open because we weren't sure when our business was going to come back. Now, if you've been to Dutch Bros, our business is set up for social distancing. Cars, your cars are 6 feet apart. People are coming out there. We stopped accepting cash. It was a frictionless payment system. And right away, within maybe a month, we realized our sales were going to be fine. We stopped getting morning rushes because nobody was driving to work anymore. We stopped getting afternoon rushes because nobody was coming home from work, and we couldn't predict when the business was going to come. But at the end of the day, our sales totals were about the same, and so we were pretty happy. When we talk about being just a relationship business, we work with operating partners. More than half of our stores are controlled by an operating partner. An operating partner is somebody who's worked for us for at least 4 years, a couple of those years in management, and then they're racked and stacked. You have to be a good guy, good gal, good person, whatever you want to say, and you have to understand the cultures and the values of our company. But if you do that, we're gonna give you something really cool. We're gonna give you your own store. We wanted to make it difficult, like law school maybe, but we didn't want to make it impossible like the NBA. And so, there's probably a lawyer joke in there somewhere. All right, but we wanted to make it. You come in, you start working for us as a 16-year-old kid or 17-year-old kid. You put in your time. College may not be the path for you. Maybe college is the path for you. But once you finish those up, we want to give you what we call a compelling future. And here's what a compelling future is for us in our stores. We put our operators in a store. We like to have our operators run between 4 and 7 shops. We guarantee you a 6-figure salary for the first store. So you're running one store, you're making $100,000 a year, and we'll give you an extra $10,000 a year for each store after that. So we could be running 5 stores, making $140,000 a year. You got all those cool benefits like 401k and profit sharing and health and dental and all that. So you're an employee. Oh yeah, and then we give you a sizable percentage of the profits. So we talk about changing lives. We've made a lot of these kids millionaires, and that's what we do. And that's that. So when you do that, that's why it's so competitive. You see everybody who was jumping up and down in the video. Well, that's why, because they're all chasing, to be at the top of the top, right there. Those kids want to be operators, and they'll move everywhere for us. I get phone calls and text messages from them every day. Are you building stores in Florida? Are you building stores in Alabama? What's next? What's next? Because everybody wants to know where they might be, because they say, hey, I think I'm number 25 on the list. Where's number 25 going to be? I don't know where number 25 is going to be, but they're sending me texts trying to ask that. And then, that's great for the kids who work in the stores. But then we also have another piece of this compelling future, which is the people who started working for us and they want to do something else. Maybe they don't want to go run a coffee shop and run 5 coffee shops. That's not their compelling future. But they want to be an architect. They want to work in media, and they want to work in PR. They want to become a real estate site selection manager. They want to become a construction manager. We have a path for them, for every one of those folks, and for many other jobs within our department. I've got 2 people in the room right now, and I'm going to pick on both Mark and Rylin, who started working for us in the shops. And right now I've got a public relations manager and an architect right there who started working for us as kids, making coffee. That's the great thing that we like to do. Now, how are we building 100 stores a year? Well, our average unit volume is, we're public now, so I can say it. It's about 1.8 million. And we do it out of 890 square feet, 20 by 40 building, drive-thru only coffee company. I don't have any. I have 4 stores without drive-thrus in the company. They don't make any money, so we won't talk about those. All right, we're drive-thru only, 1.8 million. In the state of Texas, we're a little over $2 million with our AUV. So sales are good, profits are reasonable. We can't complain. But when you go to Dutch Bros, it changes your day. You're not going to have a bad experience in a Dutch Bros. I'd love to, say we're perfect 100% of the time, but I don't get many complaints. And we don't have a typical menu board or a squawk box, so it's not that really old school disconnected feeling when you're talking to just a voice. We have kids out there, runners, taking your order. with an iPad, walk up there, fist bump, pet your dog, give your dog a treat, whatever it is. We talk about the menu. We can make something like 14,000 different drinks if you ask us to. Coffee drinks and energy drinks are what matters. But what's really cool is we're a 5-minute escape. You hit my drive-thru and you can escape from your world for 5 days. Fighting with your girlfriend, your kids are mad at you, your boss is being a jerk. You hit my drive-thru, that's 5 minutes, you don't have to worry about any of that. You're gonna get a great drink and you're gonna leave with a smile on your face. And if the energy isn't coming from the kids in the line, we've done something wrong. Truth be told, sometimes I ask myself if I belong, because I get real serious at times, but these kids just get you really hyped up. And we like to look at it as an affordable luxury. Most people couldn't afford to take their family to like Ruth's Chris every night for steakhouse, for a good steak. And that's great, you can enjoy your day. But most people can probably afford the $5 a day to hit the drive-thru at a Dutch Bros and really enjoy what they're doing. So that's, we like to say, get in here, enjoy that party in the parking lot. And that's just really important to us that you come in and you have a good day. And if you come to one of our stores and we have an operator or one of the kids isn't doing their job correctly, we'd like to hear about it. But our operators are really good. Everybody has a bad day. Sometimes you come to work and you're tired, you're school, what's in the way. We'll send you home and say, we still love you. We'll see you tomorrow. It's important. So it's about being good people. We think we treat our customers well, our landlords well, and our suppliers well, that our people are going to take very good care of us. I think it's important to know that we believe in relationships. We believe in meeting people face to face. And I know there's a lot of suppliers in this room of like, I've been trying to call you, Aaron, you don't call me back. It's because I get 500 calls from y'all. But we like to go out and visit our suppliers, spend time with them on a frequent basis, whether they tour with our architects, tour some of our buildings. We like to tour the factories. Why? It's a connection. I don't want to just trade paper with you and say, you're my sign guy, you're my tile person. What I want to do is I want you to feel like you're an extension of our business. We started this business in Grants Pass, Oregon, with a lot of folks, a lot of handshake agreements, and we're still doing business with a lot of those guys. And the business has scaled, and we've had to move past some of them, but we're still trying to keep them involved and raise them along the way. I say that only because our business keeps changing, and this is more difficult than it's ever been for us to build. And so I've had to try new vendors. I've had to end up competing with folks. I've made commitments for materials that have ended up going to Amazon rather than me. And so that's why I'm all about the supplier. Even though Amazon knocks on your door, if I've been doing business with you long term, I'd like you to at least consider me, right? It's hard to argue with Amazon though. And then I guess I want to talk about like what we do for the community. You guys saw the video about our Drink One for Dane that we do every May. And then we also do something called Dollar for Kids we do every October. And we also do something called, we do Buck for Kids, we do Drink One, and then we do Dutch Love Day, which is right around Valentine's Day. Last year, we gave back $3.1 million. That's just through give backs that came through our customers and we gave to local charities. It's just great to be a part of that. We also, in 2020, gave $1 million to first responders right after the first responders, medical workers, right after the pandemic had started. So that was great. Hey, we're small, and we can be very flexible. I think some people heard me joke yesterday. Inspire Brands was talking about wanting to lead the way on modular. I said, please do, right? You've got 10,000 restaurants in a budget that I'll never even be able to touch. So if you can figure this out, I'm happy to follow you there. But because we're small, we can also be very creative. We can try some things, and the buck kind of stops with me when it comes to making some decisions, or Dan, my head of construction. And so we're building modular buildings. So people, I don't know if everybody heard this yesterday, but we've done 28 modular buildings. We're saving an average of 21 days per project when we do a modular building, and we're saving $75,000. That won't sustain. I mean, right now, typical construction prices are through the roof. When things start to come back to earth a little bit, I think we'll probably be at about par with the cost of a modular to the cost of a stick build. But that's something really different we're doing. And we did our first one during the summer of 2020 in Salt Lake City, Utah. And why did we do it? Because someone challenged us to do it. That's really simple. Someone says, hey, we think you should build your little buildings in a modular format. Okay, challenge accepted. Famous last words. you look at that. Some people heard this story yesterday, but this is one of the cool things about Dutch Bros. We're building a store in West Jordan, Utah, and I'll be darned if empty lot. We had a small fence up, small sign that says Dutch Bros coming soon, but you really couldn't see the fence. Lady's driving to work one morning, sees the fence up, doesn't see anything, and she's driving back at 6 o'clock that night. She sees my building and my sign put up. It went up in 12 hours. And she called 911. And they called my guys, and they like 911 called my guys, and they said, what's going on? The lady thought aliens had dropped the building off. It was the greatest call ever, all right? So we're just really blessed with a good company. People have a good sense of humor about it. We're working on alternative specs for every single thing in our store. Every piece of equipment, we have an A and a B spec. Every building material, we have an A, B, or C spec. I say that. There's certain things we haven't figured out that we like yet. We use La Marzocco espresso machines. They're the best in the world. There's probably nothing better. Let's just hope we can keep getting them from Italy, right? That's one of the things we worked about. We haven't quite hit a wall when it comes to equipment yet, but we've scraped that wall a few times, if you know what I mean. We've prepaid for a ton of equipment, and we're looking at lots and lots of alternative vendors to be able to get us there. And that's I could ramble for an hour about Dutch Bros. I want to talk about what we've been up to, and then people say, well, how have you been getting your sites and networking and finding the things you need? One of the things I'm a big proponent on is LinkedIn. That's the greatest tool in the history of business in my mind. We put a post up every week about stores we're opening, and we have at least 30,000 views on what we put up. And I guess that's a lot, but not only do we do 30,000 views, we get about 250 like direct inquiries, whether it be from a vendor or people wanting to give me a piece of land or become a franchisee, which we don't franchise. It's been an incredible tool. And we started doing it simply because March of 2020, I thought I might need to find a new job. So that's why I started networking a little bit on LinkedIn. And now we've got 30,000 people looking at it. All right, Jason, I can't see you, but you're going to tell me I'm out of time.
Yeah, basically, well, we've got a few more minutes. Did you want to open it up to questions?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, look, I've got one to kick it off. We're running a digital mastermind in previous weeks, just a roundtable, and we were talking about permitting delays and dealing with municipalities. And you actually had a pretty interesting approach to it when you get into a town and there are going to be pretty serious delays, and you take a pretty community-first approach. What have you guys developed for that?
I think the first thing we do is we put together a little pitch book, and we go meet with the city manager, the mayor, economic development director, or just frankly, the ladies at the front desk if it's a small town, where it is, the people who really know how to take care of things. We like to tell the story about what we give back to each of our communities, number one. Like to show a video like that, we'll show it on the iPad. And then one of the things we look for is we say, who do I talk to right now, like when I run into a problem? And then you start to learn how to navigate those roadblocks, and you make friends, and then you follow up. And yeah, we send them a basket full of T-shirts and coffee and swag of some kind. But one of the things we don't want to do is take no for an answer. We know what we can bring to the community. We're good people, and that sounds slightly arrogant, like not taking no for an answer. But what we found is we never put ourselves in a position where we're fighting with the city. We'll go to a city council meeting, we'll fight for a CUP to get permission for a drive-through. But when I say being good people, we've just not had a problem where people have complained about our construction projects or the way we're running things. We're very proactive when we open stores. We bring things to the neighborhoods. Get to know the neighbors. There's going to be traffic delays in the first couple of days. We want people to be aware of that, but also we like to stay friends with the politicians and the people that get voted for. It's a big step for us. Example being, City of Sacramento came up with something really crazy about 3 weeks ago. Now, or 3 months ago, if you're doing anything in Sacramento, you guys will run across this. They said, we want you to put in an electric vehicle only drive-through lane. I hear a couple of chuckles, but guys, you need more than a couple. That's just ridiculous, right? They asked us to put in electric vehicle only. They wanted to see a copy of our 401k plan for employees. This is what the city wants to see before they start approving deals for us. No, that's cool. We'll show them everything. I'm not going to do the electric drive-thru lane, and I did have a 401k. But the good news is I made a couple calls to some of the friends of the mayor and friends of our brand who are like, yeah, we're not going to do that. And they were able to help us get something pushed through. But those are the types of things that, where I like to say we're good people, we can combat that with what we do for the community. I think something else is, that's how we market. You're not going to see us on TV or on radio commercials, but you're going to see us in the community. I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico a few weeks back, and left one of our stores. I'm a block down the road, and I look over and I see a Little League baseball field. Kind of looked bad, run down, needed a paint job. I called our marketing folks, and within 5 days of me driving by the field, we're putting together a plan to spend 10 grand to refurbish a baseball field for the community. That's the way we like to approach things.